Inhale and exhale. And as you continue to breathe, feel your body become more and more relaxed, letting go and trusting the universe is a matter of surrendering, releasing, and allowing. Releasing control of everything that we want to hold on to. And yes, in everything that we want to turn out perfectly. In allowing the universe to bring whatever it chooses to bring our way. I trust that everything happens at just the right time. Everything happens in just the right way for our highest good. Feel yourself begin to sink deeper and deeper into your seat, descending deep down into the center of your being. Remember that you have no place to be right now. There is no thing that demands your attention at this moment. You have complete freedom to just be, to just receive. Letting go of all the expectations, letting go of all the desires and the dreams. I trust everything that has led up to this point has happened for your highest good. Feel the joy stir within your belly. A gentle tickle as you focus on the feeling of living your best and highest purpose. How good it feels to be the best that you can possibly be. The peace and fulfillment of being in the right place at the very right time. Feel that. The peace and fulfillment of being in the right place. Sharing your beautiful gifts with family, friends, and the world. Allow the joy to rise up and be expressed within you. Allow yourself to just be. Everything is working out in your favor. There is nothing to fear of what is to come. I allow resistance to fall away, and I align myself in truth. The universe provides always. The universe always has my back. I trust the universe. Who am I not to trust? Practice makes permanent changes. And I ask you to join me and anchor these words with, and so it is, Ashe and amen. Blessings. Thank you.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. to remind you how much you're truly loved.
Well, that idea of love, that idea of our connection with the infinite and knowing it as love really changes everything. So the idea that something within us is the very source of our existence, it is the life itself. And as we begin to celebrate that and live from that, we begin to change the trajectory of our lives. So tonight is about surrender. And surrendering is about being present with what is, allowing ourselves to breathe life into each moment, regardless of what it looks like, and to find in our hearts a sense of gratitude for each and everything that comes our way, knowing that all of it is moving us toward our greatest expression of life. In Living the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote, "Since today is the only day in which we live, and yesterday has forever passed, the change that we need to make within ourselves must be made today." And so we have to live each day as though it were complete and perfect within itself. And we have to live each day as though all the joy there is in the universe were ours now. And we have to live each day as though all the joy we ever expect to experience were ours now. So the idea is to change how we process the experience of living, to stop judging things as bad and wrong, and instead to sit in a place of knowing that this moment is in fact all that it was meant to be. That whatever's going on right now is actually moving me forward to that greatest vision that I have for my life. And although it might not seem that way, that is actually what is occurring. So when we can find in our hearts gratitude for everything, and I know some stuff is kind of hard to do that, but what we want to do is begin to take each day for what it really is. Let go of yesterday. It's done. It's over. Whatever happened is gone, good, bad, or indifferent. So we want to be present in the now moment. It is in the now moment that we are actually in that place of oneness, absolute knowingness of the divine. So we want to begin to live there as much as we can. The thinking that we have, we're all thinking thoughts all the time. This is good, this is bad, this is inevitable. Oh, look at the world today. It's such a mess. Well, if you think back, you probably heard your parents say that and your grandparents say that, and probably their parents said that. No matter what generation we've been born into, people in the present generation are sitting back talking about how terrible, bad, awful things are and how much worse than they were in the past. They're different, yes. Are they worse? I don't know, but they are different. It's no different than going back into the 50s when Elvis Presley came on the scene and started gyrating those hips, and the adults went into a panic. Rock and roll music coming through. That's got to be bad. Every generation has had something that we call terrible, bad, awful, that we think is going to destroy life. What we want to remember is that the source of life is this divine creator, God, spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it. And this is the energy that permeates all that exists. And if we can allow ourselves to breathe life into that, to surrender into that, to begin to operate from that, rather than thinking about all the bad, awful in the world, but instead focusing on the energy, power, and presence of love and light. It's not to pretend that there isn't bad stuff going on, but it's about taking our focus back, focusing on that which we choose to see in the world, focusing on that which we choose to experience. And by surrendering into that, we are more likely to have a positive, uplifting experience than some sort of immense suffering. So the journey that we're on is to remember that the power of the universe conspires to help us. that there's things going on that allow us to experience good in each and every moment, that what we want to do is begin to live with a new understanding of life. So we want to pay attention. Now, what we do here is spiritual mind treatment. We use treatment to begin to change our thinking, to shift our focus. And it's a very powerful tool for making a change in the world. And we can do that. We have the power to do that. Everything we think, say, and do is causing a flux in the energy that will draw to us or repel from us whatever it is that's going on at the current moment. So when we focus on all that is wrong, we're focusing on the negative, we're actually drawing that energy into our life experience. What we want to do is look at what it is, but remind ourselves of what it is we truly want. And when we begin to see our life as the very expression of this source energy, we start to realize that it is our thinking that moves it into form. It is our thinking that has created the mental equivalent that allows it to show up in our lives in whatever way it shows up. So we want to pay attention. What is it that I'm thinking about? Am I thinking thoughts of hate? Oh, I hate it when this happens. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Oh, I hate that we do these things, do we not? Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to shift that. When we're thinking, oh man, I hate this, we want to stop that thought in its tracks and surrender instead into the energy of love, that idea of oneness, that place of possibility. And as we do that, we begin to shift how the energy flows in our lives. Every one of us is the cause of our own experience, whether we know it or not. And we're all carrying the negative experiences of our past into the future because we haven't disconnected them from our minds. In order to disconnect the negatives, we need to put in something positive. So I want to invite you to really think about who you are, right? And how it is that you fit into this universal oneness. Each one of us is an individualized expression of this divine energy. Everyone, not some, all. Every aspect of life on planet Earth is part of this. So when we look at ourselves, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, when we think about ourselves, are we thinking, oh, I'm such an idiot. Oh, I can't believe I did that. What a stupid thing to do. Are we thinking thoughts like that? Or are we thinking, wow, I'm powerful, lovable, and filled with dynamic energy of possibility and opportunity? How am I looking at life? Am I experiencing the fullness of all that I bring and all that is possible? Or am I holding back in such a way as to limit my personal expression? Am I deciding that the people outside of me get to control what I think, say, and do? Or am I allowing myself to go deep within my own essence, to go, here I am. Here I am. Let me express that divine presence through everything I think, say, and do. And let me take the past and leave it where it was. It's over, it's done. Can't change it. So I might as well focus now on what it is I choose for moving forward. Where is it that I want to go? What is it that I want to do? And when we have faith in life, we begin to let the fear slip down, let go, get rid of it. And we begin to open up to the idea that I am one with love, that love is the energy of the universe. It is the goodness that has always been present. And if we can come to a place of accepting that about ourselves, we begin to fill a need in the world that is really essential. What the world needs right now is to be reminded of the source of life and to celebrate that, to begin to look at what's possible rather than, well, reality says, here's what's going to happen next. We have a choice. We can buy into the current effects, or we can go back to first cause, source, And from that place, we can begin to celebrate and rejoice in what's possible. We can begin to focus our attention on where we truly want to live, what it is we truly want to do. We can open our minds and hearts and be what we were created to be, not broken and flawed, which is the illusion, but these dynamic, powerful, creative, infinitely powerful beings of love and light. We can be that. And where love is, fear can't exist. So what is it that we're afraid of, really? Are we afraid of the real powerhouses that we are? Or are we afraid that somehow we'll dream too big and won't make it happen? Where are we really? And how is that serving us moving forward? When we come to understand that my thinking creates my reality, your thinking is creating your reality. What is it you're thinking about? What are the thoughts that are running through your mind right now? Are you thinking about how beautiful, how powerful, how remarkable, how gifted, how genius you are? How essential you are to the unfolding of the universe at this particular time? Are you focused on the idea that you have something to bring that only you can bring? And that little something is essential to the universe unfolding in the most powerful, positive, and productive way. Is that how you see yourself? Or do you see yourself as, oh, well, less than, not quite enough, maybe a little broken and flawed? An imposter, not really great, pretending to be, but not really feeling it. See, we all have our stories, right? Because we were raised in a way that taught us to conform. But what if we were to set that aside? What if we set that aside and we took a moment to go, wait a minute, I am one with this infinite presence. Call it God, call it spirit, call it universe, first cause, doesn't matter, mind. Whatever name we use, if we can begin to see ourselves as an aspect of that energy is being me and being you, that is who I really am. If I can begin to see that, I can begin to move forward with a sense of great faith that all is well. All is well and getting better and better. See, we decided that we were separate then, right? There was this old model, of course, when we were young and maybe we were in a more traditional religion and, it was God out there and us down here, the lowly sinners. But what if that's not true? What if I am the I am presence? What if the energy of the universe is fully present where I am, fully present where you are, and that we have the power to use it? We can use it consciously. We're using it regardless, right? Our negativity is creating or our positivity is creating. We're always creating. So in what way are we creating? Are we creating from our limitation or from our expansion? Are we creating from our fear or from our love? Are we creating from dysfunction, discord, or are we creating from a place of celebration and rejoicing? Just a choice. Just a choice. And it's amazing how it shows up. You see, we are so powerful that what we think about, we bring about. There's things that we think, say, and do that have caused the very life that we're living today. And in the moment that we choose to change some of those words, some of those actions, some of those thoughts, we begin to create something brand new. I'm here to tell you, you heal your life by changing your thoughts. Not by changing the world in front of you, because it's already created, it's already done. What is. But it's about accepting what is and allowing yourself to know that this too is you are exactly where you need to be. And in this moment, you can choose to think in a way that will take you to even a greater possibility and potential for your life. Sometimes we feel like we're separated from source and we're living in a fog. But what if we let all of that go? What if we let it all go and go, wait a minute, there is a power for good in the universe and it's here being me and it's right there being you. What if we take everything that we're doing and as we see ourselves as an expression of this one infinite power, that we see every person in the same way? And not only the people, but the animal life, the plant life, all of it, we see it as an expression of this infinite possibility, this infinite energy. If everything is energy, like if we look at quantum physics and we go, well, everything is energy and energy forms into matter, it's just a change in vibration. The energy hasn't changed. The vibration of it changes and it forms something. And what causes it? Well, scientists have observed that by observing an experiment, the observer, without doing anything, actually changes the results based on their thinking. And so a different scientist will produce a different result if they're doing the same experiment. Just because of the difference in their thinking, there might be a slight shift that occurs. And that suggests to us that the intelligence is in the universe, that it is an intelligent system, and that it operates through the law of mind, that everything that is happening in divine right order. And we can expand that. We can live in the place of, hey, I am creating something beautiful. I begin to look at the world and I look at life and I allow myself to see the potential of each moment by acknowledging that every single person is a gift. Everyone. Every single person is a gift, that the starting point is at the center of our being. And when we awaken to this divine energy within us, and we begin to embrace that, and we begin to surrender our lives to it, to lose the fear, the hate, the worry, the anxiety, let all of that go, and instead just relax into this infinite eternal presence, we start to move our lives in ways that might appear magical, but really it's just a natural way of being. It's a natural expression. And what we soon come to realize is that every person is part of this. There is no separation between us and God, or us and the universe, us and this divine presence. There is only oneness, and this divine life is in everyone and in everything. And so we surrender into it. And by surrendering into it, we allow ourselves to be moved in ways that actually fulfill our life purpose quicker, easier, and more profoundly than in our resistance or in our manipulation, right? Because we sometimes try to do that. We'll treat about something, we want to experience in our lives, and then we'll proceed to go, okay, so how am I going to do that? And I start working the how. And when it doesn't happen, then I ask why. Why is it not working? Why is it not working? And really what we want to do is let all that go and go, all I need to do is exactly what's in front of me. The only thing I need to do is what's in front of me. If I will do the next step in every moment, if I will stand in this moment, see what's before me and do that, what happens is it moves me in ways that wouldn't have happened otherwise. It's up to us to surrender to spirit entirely. And that's the challenge, because we really do like to control things. We think we have control. I'm not so sure that we do. But what if we were to surrender fully? What if we let go of all of the falsehoods we've believed and our fears and our doubts? And what if we freed ourselves to really live in celebration of this glorious thing called life? What if every day we celebrated the simplicity and beauty of life, knowing that we don't have to make it difficult or hard? It could be easy. It could be fun. It could be interesting. Ernest Holmes says that humanity has a tendency to define life by external conditions. Yep, we've done that, haven't we? But we know that life is an internal experience. And in unifying ourselves with this one mind, we know that life is eternal. And as we return to the source of our being, that's when harmony becomes our reality. And so we can use spiritual mind treatment to help to correct the thinking that's put us in the ditch, to lift us out. And spiritual mind treatment is, sometimes called an affirmative prayer, but really what it is about making a statement that is powerful and positive and present, fully accomplished, because we know that our mind moves this energy into form. And so if we can think positive, productive thoughts, what happens is we begin to experience something positive and productive. We start to actually shape our lives in ways that work for us rather than against us. I mean, think about it for a minute. If my thinking creates my life and I'm thinking about, oh, the world is such a mess right now, everything's awful and broken, what are we going to do? Everything's, destroyed or being destroyed. There's no hope. What am I going to create? Nothing good. All I do is add energy into the dysfunction that's currently being revealed around the world. Can I see all that stuff out there? Yeah, sure I can. But do I want that to continue? Personally, no. So how do we change it? We change it through surrendering into that infinite power and presence. We begin at source. We go back to first cause. Instead of thinking about how I change or fix things that are broken, I begin to see the wholeness, the creativity, the beauty, the magnificence, the wonder of life itself. I begin to see all life as perfect, whole, and complete. And in that, there is nothing broken. So the falsehood is released, the fear is released, the doubt, the anxiety, all of that is released for this now moment where I choose to focus on love. I choose to focus on the brilliance and the magnificence of this divine one. I choose to see the source of life as all powerful. And because it is all powerful, no external circumstance can impact it. No external circumstance can control it. And as enough of us begin to shift our thinking from fear to faith, from doubt to possibility, from hate to love, we begin to see a world that transforms accordingly, that a shift occurs that is absolutely awesome and begins to see those obstacles fall. There's so many things we thought were impossible until the moment they became possible. And what changed? An idea in mind. I still remember when the Berlin Wall fell. I was shocked. I'm watching it on the news and I was dumbstruck that this could happen because it seemed like an impenetrable thing, that there was no way on earth this was ever going to happen. But it did. And when it did, there were still a lot of people who had no idea that it was going on. I met a German soldier a few years back when I was living in Vernon, BC. And he talked about the day it came down. He was in East Berlin. He was an East German soldier. And when he heard the wall was coming down, he was like, what? There's no way. Until he got to the wall and saw it being ripped apart. In the moment that we change our thinking, in the moment that we surrender to the divine, in the moment that we open up to possibility, we begin to see the impossible become the probable, the manifest. In the moment that we change our ideas of obstacles that we wrestle with, our doubts, our fears, our lack of love, our uncertainties, as we begin to shift all of that and allow ourselves instead to shift our thinking to that place of, wait a minute, I am one with this divine presence and it is good. And I breathe that in with my meditation. I breathe that in with my treatment work. I breathe that in with the materials I read. I breathe that into each and every moment. And as I do that, I begin to experience life in a whole new way. I begin to experience life as this great potential. I begin to see the journey as something magnificent. I begin to see myself as I really am, not as friends or teachers or parents have suggested, but rather the essence of me as a participant in a universal expansion, as a participant in a possibility greater than anything we've ever seen before. As we begin to open our minds and hearts and live from this place of excitement and delight and possibility and opportunity, we begin to change the world. It doesn't change because I look at it and I go, wow, look how broken and flawed and stupid it is. That doesn't change anything. That just puts me in the ditch with everybody else. But when we stand out, when we choose to stand out and go, not buying it, I know there's a greater potential. I know there's a greater possibility. And so I'm going to view that. I'm going to surrender myself to the idea that good exists. And it is right where I am, right here, right now. And I see it and I feel it and I experience it and I express it everywhere I look. And as that becomes more and more predominant in our world, we begin to see shifts like the dropping of the Berlin Wall. We begin to see shifts that we never thought could happen happening. We see transformation occur that is beyond anything we had believed possible before, but is now a reality. We all have faith, but what do we have faith in? Do we have faith in that which is already created? The broken systems, the flawed reality that we're looking at as we watch the news for 24/7? Or are we shutting the news off and allowing ourselves to create in our own minds a utopia, a world where people are loved and honored and respected, where we work with one another in collaboration and cooperation, where we begin to see each other as beautiful and glorious and unique and divine, where we, instead of arguing to be right, we spend time to understand, to get to know one another, to discover what our differences are, and to be excited and delighted by the diversity that we uncover. Life is life. And we can make it whatever we want. And so we can be sheep and just follow the pack. Or instead of fitting in, we can stand out. We can stand out and stand up. We can stand out and speak up. We can share our voice in such a way as to be heard beyond the din of the frustrations and anger, resentment, whatever's going on in the world right now. Let us focus instead on what we truly want to see. If we want to see peace on earth, we can't see it through a battle. We have to be peaceful regardless of what's going on around us. If we want to create a greater expression of love, we can't live in fear. And what's there to be afraid of anyway? If there is, in fact, this one power and it's good, and if, in fact, we are eternal beings, there truly is nothing to fear, except maybe fear itself. One of the great obstacles that we face is the idea of hate. And as long as we're expressing that, we can't surrender fully. We can't get to know this divine energy. So I suggest a practice I think with all things, practice really helps. And so by getting up in the morning and taking time in meditation, even 10 or 15 minutes, what that allows us to do is quiet our mind, welcome the day, and begin in a state of openness to whatever the universe has for us at that moment. We begin to hear the still small voice, which gives us insights into what it is we can create, where we can go, what's possible in the next moment. And we breathe life into that. And we do our treatment work, our morning prayers. And it's about acknowledging I'm one with God. I'm one with this infinite presence. I'm one with this divine light. In the moment that I accept my oneness with the universe, all of a sudden the fear slips away. The sense of hatred, the disconnection, all of that just slides away. And I begin to see what's possible for me: health, wealth, love, peace, creative expression, joy. All of this becomes part of my moment by moment experience when I let go of that which would block. So by doing meditation and prayer in the morning, I'm opening myself up to starting my day with the intention of peace and love and joy. Much better way than starting it with hatred, anxiety, frustration, and annoyance. And some days do start like that, but we want to change that. If we're looking to create a world that works for the highest and best good of all concerned, then we have to be that. And we show up that way moment by moment, simply by choice, recognizing that within us, we can only express our divine freedom in that place of openness and positivity. In the moment that we know God as our source, universe as our source, or spirit as our source, whatever you want to call it, when we recognize the source of life as being us, we begin to change the game. We change everything in that moment. And we let go of everything that would keep us bound, that causes suffering, and we set ourselves free. Freedom actually is our birthright. And we can have that. We can have that right now. It's already been given to us. It's just we have to be willing to accept it. So I want to invite you over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, to surrender everything into this energy of love, to work with collaboration, cooperation, to see yourself as part of something much bigger than your own reality, and to allow love to be the highest principle that you work with. And that whenever something goes awry, that forgiveness becomes first and foremost, forgiveness and gratitude. Because the minute we forgive the past and let it go, there's so much to be grateful for. And that's what takes us to this place of freedom and possibility. So we surrender into the divine as the source of our existence. And then we have so much to celebrate. Emerson said, "For it is only the finite that has wrought and suffered. The infinite lies stretched in smiling repose." What we are, this divine energy that we are, is infinite and cannot be harmed. But the expression of our small self, the part that we see as limited, that's where the pain is. So we want to let go of all of these things that block us and stop us, and listen instead to that call. Let go of the fear and stand out in life, stand with a great sense of excitement. There's a story called She Let Go by Reverend Sapphire Rose. She let go without a thought or a word. She let go. She let go of all the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons, wholly and completely without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all of the memories that held her back. She let go of all the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her day timer. She made no public announcement and put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't do a 5-step spiritual mind treatment. She didn't call the prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A smile came across her face. A light breeze blew through her, and the sun and the moon shone forever. So I invite you this week, just take a moment, just surrender, let it all go. The things you've been worried about, just lay them down. And then you can choose whether or not you want to pick them up again. Take a moment to simply breathe. And just know that there's something within you calling you to a greater possibility.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feels like I'm walking on marbles. Can't still the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. A long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Oh, something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, hold me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh, oh, oh Lord, oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I surrender my life to you. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Faith is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Ministry's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Faith is calling me, and peace keeps calling me. America keeps calling me. Seems like Dallas has been calling me. Oh, love keeps calling me. What keeps calling you? What keeps calling you? Deeper, deeper, deeper than you've ever been before. Love keeps calling us. Love keeps calling us. Love keeps calling us. God is calling me. And I'm grateful like I have never been before. Thank you, Spirit, for calling me. Thank you, Spirit, for calling me. Thank you, Spirit, for calling me.
Jamie Lula. So one announcement, we do tax receipts will be going out soon, so do make sure we have your correct email address if you want it emailed, or your correct mailing address if you'd like us to mail it out to you. And it is that time in our service when we give back of our good. And so I invite you, as you make your donations to CSL on the Lake, that you can do it through e-transfer. You can go to our website at cslonthelake.com and hit the give link. Or, of course, you can mail checks to our office as well. However you choose to give, just know that we receive your gifts with great love and appreciation. And it continues to go forward to expand and grow the work that we're doing here. So we are grateful for every little bit. And as we close with treatment, I just want to remind you that if you want to stick around at the end, we will have a time of chit chat right after the service. So join with me now in consciousness as we bless the offering for today, but also move forward in the place of surrender. There is but one power, infinite and eternal, present everywhere, powerful, positive, and productive, the energy of life itself. I celebrate this life as the source of my existence, as the possibility of all that there is. And I know that blessings abound in all ways at all times. That coming together this evening or any time we gather, there is a sense of community and comfort, a peacefulness that gathers us in ways that transforms what it is we think or believe about our current predicament and allows us to move forward with grace, with love, with peace, with possibility. And so I know that health and vitality, wealth and well-being, that peace and joy, that a sense of wonder and awe exists at every level of existence, and that all is well. Trusting this and allowing this, I release these ideas into the law of mind, where I know it is already fully done, fully complete, fully manifest. I let that be the truth. And together we say, and so it is, and so it is, Ashe. And now our closing song, I Am the Place Where God Shows Up by Eddie Watkins Jr.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place. I am the place where God. You are the place. Moves and breathes and has. We are the place. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You are the place. We are the place
I am the place
where God shows up. Have your hands and sing it with me. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows